There's a book called Rocket Fuel, and you probably don't need to read the whole book, but the idea is that a company should have ideally two people at the top. You've got the founder visionary, which you obviously hold very strongly, but then you've got the integrator. An integrator is the person who basically catches the ball. And so the integrator should be someone that you can kind of throw things at, and they're an expert at catching the ball, documenting where things need to go, and then actually helping the team to execute that as well, because they should be like holding the chaos a bit. So you can be a bit in chaos because founders are a bit chaos, and that's fine. But the integrator is the person that you want to kind of like have catch the chaos, put it into project plan, triage. Okay, yeah, you've thrown 10 ideas at me this week, but like, what are the 3 that we need to do this week? And what are the rest that we can then, nearly 10 years ago now, we started building our team in the Philippines. And at the time I had, I don't know, 6 or 8 staff in an office in Sydney. And a lot of them were kind of pretty young. And I found that our team that we were building in the Philippines had harder workers and better output for a fifth of the cost than my team were outputting in Sydney. And it blew my mind. I was driving. I'd walk to the office, I'd get to the office, and I'd just look around and go, what am I doing? We basically exclusively built our team in the Philippines from there forward. And that's been a big part of our success. Now, it doesn't work for every single business. And I don't want to see, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I don't want to approach that for everyone's business. We now have another business in Melbourne, and they also have an office there because of the particular clients that we serve and different, industries and whatnot. So Philippines is not a solution to everything, but you are going to hear it a lot. And it's been normalized over the last decade. Australian businesses hated the Philippines because Telstra had a bad call center, and there was still time required to integrate what's it like working with someone else from another country. But that's been integrated. We've gone a long way, and the remote work thing has been opened up thanks to COVID. So that has also, for a lot of small business owners who felt the pressure of changing, market dynamics, that has now opened up many people's mindset. And it's seen now where previously it was like, oh, that's really weird. Now it's seen as savvy. It's like, oh, wow. Oh, you've got a team in the Philippines. Oh, wow, that's so cool. There's a lot to cover, right? And I guess this is what we're going to work on over the coming months. But when it comes to not overwhelming your integrator or not like just chucking a bunch of stuff out and going, oh, I need to disappear. Everyone's going to need to do this if you haven't already. When you're hiring, you're going to be able to say, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. The next thing is when you have an integrator and you throw 10 things at them, they're going to see, okay, where do these 10 things sit on the map? Well, yes, this 1, 2, 3 things. Oh yeah, I can see that's part of what we're working on this quarter. And then this one is a new idea. We might need to wait till next quarter before we implement that because of what we're doing this quarter. So what that does is it stops you from cooking them. There's a couple of things with that. One is I always try and be 49% friend, 51% boss. And that's an important distinction. We're here for a commercial result, and this is a professional workplace. That's what works for me. And so I want to build, and naturally personal relationships are built over time with your team. We're here for work. And so there's another quote, I think it was one of the LinkedIn or Dig or Reddit or guys, which is care very deeply about your people, but don't care what they think of you. What that means is don't steer the ship on account of one person's relationship with you. Our role as an entrepreneur, as the founder, and I'm assuming most of us are probably sole founders, we have the sole responsibility, and our number one job is the survival of the organization. That's our number one job. And so if we start making decisions, it's like if you change a company-wide policy just to keep one person happy, right? If you do that, then you're jeopardizing the whole organization. And so ideally, you should be thinking, okay, what's best for the company? 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 And if we want to get like really high level thinking, if you see yourself as outside the business and the business is a machine and you're just like the mechanic tweaking the machine, one way I like to think about it is like, imagine you grow and you scale and you become a public company one day. Well, public companies can have the CEO change out. The founder's still the founder. You still hold the spiritual guidance for the business, and you'll still, hold that in the day-to-day or not. You're still going to hold that for the culture and for everything else.